Hello and welcome back. Today I want to have a look at three versions of the same pen, being the Lamy, Safari, Vista and All-Star, and decide if they're actually worth the money and should be recommended to beginners. Now, I never really liked the design of this pen, but you'll see this pen in every beginner fountain pen recommendation video. Now, don't get me wrong, I actually do like this pen. Well, at least I think I do. It was always kind of just accepted that this was a good beginner fountain pen, without ever thinking too much about it. So that's the plan today, to prove to myself that these are actually good pens, and I was right to recommend them. Please leave a comment with your experience about Lamy Safaris or All-Stars. I'd love to hear your view as well. This started when I recently got a negative comment about stating that I found the Jinhao X450 a bit cheap feeling in areas, but then also went on to recommend the Lamy Safari in the same video. This made me wonder if I can really criticise the Jinhao, which is already around a fifth of the price of the Safari, which is just made from ABS plastic and injected moulded. I'm getting ahead of myself though. Let's first look at the history of these entry-level Lamy pens. The Safari in All-Star was designed in 1980 and was initially intended for students and young riders. They are made primarily from ABS plastic. The Vista is the demonstrator model, and the All-Star consists of an anodized aluminium body and semi-transparent grip section. Let's first look at the Safari, which is the cheapest of their offerings. I must say that you can feel it also. This pen is so light, and I don't think the matte finish on this limited edition Mango helps either. It feels like it was 3D printed almost. I don't like the feel of the matte plastic for the grip section either, but I don't own a standard gloss model to compare it to. It does write well. I've never had issues with Lamy nibs. This is the 1.1 stub that I swapped out, which is a great feature of these pens with how easily the nibs can be swapped. It's a very simple pen, but that doesn't make it bad. It's my preference that I tend to like heavier pens, and I don't care for the triangle grip much. If you look at who the pen was originally designed for, students, you can forgive all these features. It's light and still strong enough to cop a beating in a classroom, it assists with holding the pen in the correct way, and it can easily be refilled with cartridges, which are readily available in most stationery stores. The Vista is a pen I prefer a whole lot more to my Mango Safari. If anyone can explain to me why this pen just feels so much nicer to use, please say so in the comments. I think it could just be that the smooth plastic compared to the matte of the Mango is nicer to grip. It also feels heavier due to using a converter instead of a cartridge. Being able to see the feed and the metal in the cap makes it feel a bit more premium also. I would definitely recommend the Vista over the standard Safari. If I could go back and recommend a first pen to my former self, yeah, I'd probably say skip the Safari and just get a TWSBI Eco, because I know I wanted to use bottle inks at some stage. But this isn't the case for a lot of people, especially students or those who travel a lot. Lamy offers convenience more than any other brand. When I was on holiday in Europe, I took my All-Star, and I could buy cartridges in any country I went to. I can't say that for many other pens I recommend in my beginner fountain pens video. This in turn brings me to the All-Star, the best feeling of the bunch, and the most expensive accordingly. The aluminium body feels solid, and it's a tad thicker than the Safari, which I also prefer. Same nibs and writing experience, the only downside can be dents in the metal such as the one I have on my cap. Also the price for the All-Star, retailing in Australia for around $75. For that price there are a lot of different options out there. Meanwhile the Safari and Vista retail for around $55 Australian, but you would never pay this as they're often for sale or cheaper on other sites. There is actually a good video on how Lamys are made, including the nibs, All-Star and Safari, over on the Goulet Pen Company's YouTube, which I'll put in the description below. Overall, while the Safari or the All-Star might seem expensive for what they are, they come with reliable nibs, which can easily be swapped out for other Lamy nibs. They come in a bunch of colours, including special editions every year. You could, for example, swap the nib in a Jinhao and have a very nice pen with a larger number 6 nib. But this doesn't make one pen better than the other. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of the design, the fact that I always have one of these inked up says a lot. They're a reliable workhorse, easy to clean and refill and keep writing, and that's the goal at the end of the day. So yes, I stand by my recommendation, and the recommendation of nearly every video on beginner fountain pens on YouTube. Do you think the Lamy deserves any of the hate it sometimes gets? Or maybe you like them but think they're overpriced? Let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and goodbye.